Good morning, Mr. Juan.
Yo, what's up?
So, my bad. I was waiting for the app to update. It was just taking a long update
Ah,
as soon as I tried to
ah,
join.
no problem. It's like a technical issue, but it's good. No, tell me. I want to tell you something like about my English. My English is not perfect. Okay, like I'm trying to do my best. I try to do my best speaking English. I love speaking. I love speaking English with other people. Like one of my biggest dreams is like do podcast in English. So I made it now. I actually do. So tell me about your Tell me about your day. How was your day? When do you play this week?
Yeah, so today is really a chill day. It's a media type of day, your podcast. And then at 12, we have to go do some promo and video series for the team and everything like that around 12. And then after that, I'm gonna lift weights, get some more shots up and things like that, shoot some free throws, work on my mid-range game, and then eat lunch, come home, chill for a little bit, probably play the game every now and then, a little bit throughout the day. Um, and other than that, we have practice tonight at 7:30, I believe. We have practice at 7:30. Go to practice, get some more shots with the guys. It's more of a chill practice. Our more intense practices are Monday, Wednesday, Fridays for this week. So it's a chill practice. Probably do a little, skill work, things like that, and then head back home. Call it for the night. But we don't have any games this week. This is the last. What day is today? I believe today's Tuesday.
Tuesday, yeah.
So yeah. So next week we play Faraday. So big rival game coming up. So we're
Yeah.
just preparing for that.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. I want to like you consider like a post player or like a shooting player because I think you need to work in that too in the parts of your game. But what do you prefer when you make a shoot, when you make a basket, when you make a what do you prefer to do, like a post player or a shooting player?
Uh, My position now, of course, in the U.S., everybody is a little bit taller. So my natural position is the 3-4, small forward.
Okay.
Here for our team is really positionless. Now, of course, games as everybody sees in the film and the live stream. I start off, as the center, because I'm the tallest on the court. So of course, that you would want me to jump the ball.
Yeah.
But my natural, I really like. I'm an in between. I'm not really of a 3-point shooter. Now I can knock down the spot up every now and then. I can knock down the off the dribble three, but I really crafted my game around being within the mid range, like Kevin Durant,
Oh yeah.
and them everything. So I like to shoot the mid range. I got a post bag, so I can go down into the post if needed, which I don't mind banging down there in the post. I enjoy it. It's fun. Is it some work once they start digging and hacking? Yeah, but I don't mind it. But I'm
Oh,
really more of a in between, a versatile forward is what we'll call it. Whereas you could put me on the wing if needed, I could go down in the post if needed, I could float around the mid range, around the rim if needed, I can guard the rim. So that's really what my game is. We are working on me shooting from the three a lot more during practice. Coach this week has us doing a lot of shooting drills around the perimeter, which I really enjoy. But there are a lot of the fatigue shooters, so being able to shoot tired and stuff like that. But my game is really a mid-range game. I like to really work you down inside the perimeter. If I could get to the rim, go dunk it or score around the rim, I'll do that. If not, then move or two or jab from my spot if the hand is down, knock down that mid-range if need be.
I really like Kevin Durant. Like, he's one of my favorite players on NBA, and but Kevin Durant is very taller. Like, I am not taller. Like, I am 5 feet and 6 inches. Like, I am not very tall. I a little bit. I'm very small to play, but I really enjoy practice mid range. Like you say, it's like a very good spot to make your shots. So that for me is that's really interesting. I work a lot. Like, I have the mindset of Kobe Bryant. Like, I one of my favorite parts now. Uh, I want to create to the internet, because on YouTube you can see the training of Kevin Durant. Like, when you play to find fun to fight when you print like some practice shooting, like the same thing is like with Curry and the other players to D1 or practice the NCAA. I see a lot of that training, like give me a lot of motivation to practice. I think practice, when you practice, you need like you need to be focused on that. And one of my important thing in basketball is the mentality. Um uh Before that you get the mentality that you have now, tell me about your beginnings, like when you started to play basketball. Who was the first interest in that? Like, I mean, what I'm sorry, to growing up, when you are a child, what are your first interest in basketball? Like, oh my goodness, that is good, but only for fun. What is your first interest in that?
Well, funny story, basketball, I'm a late bloomer when it comes to basketball. So to make it this far in my career is because of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He has grace and has opened up many doors and windows. But my very first sport was baseball. I was a baseball player at one point, and then I ended up switching to football because my older siblings, like my two older brothers, were playing football. So my real dream was to be a professional football player. I wanted to go to the NFL and things like that. But I really started focusing on basketball going into my sophomore year of high school.
Okay.
That's when I made the switch. We played for, a really good youth football team, won a lot of games and things like that. Shout out to the Canyon Country Outlaws and everything like that. But our coach for football was the high school coach. So, it was really that, oh, yeah, we're getting ready to really bring the same team from youth football to high school. And I just remember waking up one day, chilling, enjoying my day and things like that, watching YouTube. That's when Vine was real popular. So everybody know the sports Vines. I was watching the sports Vines and I saw Cassius Stanley. Oh, honestly, I'll never forget when he was in high school. Seeing Cassius Stanley do it between the legs on one of the highlights. And from that day on, I would always beg my mom, I want to play basketball. Mom, I want to play basketball. My mom and dad are football. Well, my dad loves basketball, but my mom is more of a football type of mom.
Okay.
So it's like I was begging her a lot, like, Mom, I want to play basketball. Mom, I want to play basketball. Look at this highlight. Mom, I want to play basketball. She's like, no, Chandler, you can just stick with football. Just stick with football. Because, my coach and everything was the football coaches. Everybody wanted
Yeah.
us to play football. But I was like, no, Mom, I want to play basketball. So after my freshman year of high school, I joined the freshman team, everything like that, played a little bit. And then my sophomore year is when it got serious. So that's where my motivation came from. And my grandmother, my love for basketball came from my grandmother. She's a diehard Lakers fan ever since she was young and things like that. So she instilled the basketball love in me. She's the one who introduced me to basketball. My parents are the football parents. Like my little brother right now, he plays football. My older brother played football in college. My other older brother played football in high school. Things like
Okay.
that. My uncle, football coach. One of my uncles played in the NFL. So, it was really a football type of lineage.
Wow. Yeah.
So I didn't really get introduced into my basketball side of the family until I got to Texas and things like that during COVID, which when basketball was getting serious for me around my junior year of high school. Um, so I ended up switching to basketball and everything like that. Was a very late bloomer, late sophomore year. But I was good enough because of my athleticism and my height. I played JV and varsity, but I chose to stay down with JV because that's where my guys were that I played on the AAU team with and things like that. So that's really where my love of basketball came from around my high school year, seeing Cassius Stanley and all them, Josh Christopher, Jalen Green, and everybody like that. So that's what really inspired me. And then also I got taller than everybody else out of nowhere. Going into middle school, freshman year, high school was already 6 foot, 6'2", 6'3", 6'5" around my sophomore year. Didn't hit 6'6" until my junior year, 6'7" senior year, freshman year of college, and now currently now standing at 6'8", maybe 6'9" with my shoes on now. So yeah, that's how it really started for me. Really late bloomer, rode the bench a lot during AAU and things like that. I had one coach that really took a chance on me, Coach Rodney Taylor, and then a coach that took two more coaches during my senior year when I played for Rashard Lewis's Under Armour circuit team. And then one more coach that really took a chance on me, which was my freshman and sophomore year of college when I went JUCO, because I had Division I and D2 offers coming out of high school. Ended up committing to the University of Indiana, University of Purdue. IUPUI. But that offer ended up falling through due to a grade circumstance, which I wasn't a bad kid. I graduated high school with a 3.6 GPA, but I took college courses very early on, so I got a head start. And one of the courses was below their curriculum. It brought my curriculum GPA down, like their cumulative GPA down by zero point 0.1. You needed a 2.4 with like dual credit, the college classes transfers. I had a 2.3 according to their
Okay.
CPA. So it was too late to take summer courses by the time they offered me. So I ended up going JUCO. I did get calls from some D2s that ended up switching D1, but I didn't really know nothing about the JUCO scene. So I was kind of just going with the flow, and everything was very late for me, and everything was moving very fast. So I ended up going JUCO, but Coach Dante Davis took a chance on me as his first recruit, brought me in. I played. It was especially fresh off of COVID, so that JUCO did have a lot of guys that were much older than me. I'm 17, 18, freshmen coming in there playing with guys that were 20, 21, 22, and got the year back because of COVID. So working my way around that sophomore year, ended up really being one of the leaders of the team, broke a lot of the school records. I hold a lot of the school's all-time rebounding, all-time shot blocking, all-time shot blocks in the game records as well. And because of Dante Davis, I was able to get up out of the JUCO scene, especially coming from a really good team who had Division I bounce backs. But it's just a lot of team chemistry and things like that. We were battling a lot of the JUCO stories that you hear. So I ended up going to the University of Hawaii, and then ended up transferring from there to the school that I just finished at Livingstone College, and then found myself playing for Osos de La Salle on a professional contract, my rookie contract. So that's really my basketball journey, what inspired me. My Lord bringing me all the way through, even through injuries, played my whole sophomore year injured, played my junior year injured. My body didn't really heal up till just this past basketball season. And I missed out on half of the second half of the season due to a bad high ankle sprain. So a lot of ups and downs, a lot of conversations with the Lord, but here we are 100% healthy, can move again, can jump, probably jump higher than I did last year. So can score in ways that I couldn't score last year. Develop really. So that's really my journey up until now.
It's really it's I love that story, but one of the things that I love more is like you're a Christian person, I think.
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
I believe in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
amen. Because my dad is a leadership of a church in Arequipa in La Jolla. When I live, my dad is like a leadership of that Christian church, and I live in all my life. I'm really believe in God. Like, I think when you are a teenager, you have this like these some issues with God when you don't. I don't like God. I want to do other things, like so many things like that. But I think when I'm growing up, like I'm really be more conscious about the work that God it's in me. Like God do for me so many things that God may open many doors in my life. So that I'm really grateful for that because I think God give me all that I want. That I give me all that I things that I have now. Like for example, one of like I see a movie. It's called Woodland. It's like an American basketball player in Atlanta. I don't know that, but in some scene that the football coach tells like the parents of that guy that player that are Christians, and until my mom said my mom I want to be a leadership of a church, but I am a basketball coach. Like is for and the coach said is for me is the same thing, and basketball coach and leadership. When my dad told me about the call that Jesus called and the God's call in my life, I don't want to do this because I want to dedicate my own life to do other things, and God's give me the opportunity to leader basketball players. Like I am a basketball coach actually in La Jolla in Arequipa. This is a little bit is a small district outside of the city of Arequipa, And God give me that because okay, you want to you don't want to serve in a church, okay, but I want to but I want to you serve me in other place, in other situation, and He puts me in that in that he put in my mind that I open a basketball club and I teach basketball. But not only like God told me like I don't want or I don't give you that basketball academy or that basketball club to prepare players to be professional. I give you this or I give you that because I want to help that people. I want to help the child. I want to help the teenagers in your process to be adults. And I think I really understand now because in some like a few months, like I don't know, 3 4 months, like my life is like no in the good way, like personally. So for that reason, I really love that you believe in God because God in my personal life do a lot of things for me, and I am really I feel really grateful for that because God put me in that place because I after before that I was living in the capital, la capital of Peru. So it's very far from here. It's in Lima. When you play to United States, I think you in the airport in Lima, and then you come Arequipa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lived in Lima. I think like 4 years ago, and actually now I do other things. I am really blessed for God's put me in that way to help childs, to help teenagers in your process uh, to be a better person, to be a good person, to have very good principles, very good, have a very good value, and the most important thing, that you believe in God, because I think life outside God is not like I don't, I don't, I don't think in that. But like God give me a lot for me, and God uh, give me some answers to my life, like so things, a lot of things that I want to do. So I really blessed for that.
Yeah, I believe that I've seen a video of Dwight Howard. He was doing an interview, with some other former NBA players and things like that. And it's just the way he said with his faith in God that when he realized that this was a vessel, our bodies as basketball players, football players, too, baseball players, any athlete, but just from the basketball standpoint, that the Lord gave me this vessel to play this sport, to develop in the way I've developed, to get to where I've been. It's all through this vessel that He's gave me. So it's like I just feel like it's a part of my calling. It may not be my complete calling because He could call me out of basketball at any time. But I believe as of right now, it's a part of my calling to play ball. So I just every time before games, before practice, before weight room, I pray that the weight room, this glorifies my body, it makes me stronger, makes me faster, makes me jump higher. When I'm on the court, let this workout or let this practice glorify you, let it worship you, and that I'm giving my best foot forward. Even though, what I mean, maybe I might have a little anger here and there with a teammate or some frustration, that it's all to glorify the Lord. Even when I'm off the court, doing the podcast with you, or we do media stuff, or we take pictures with the kids and things, let my faith and my obedience be a blessing to those around me. So it's just when I heard Dwight Howard say that this was when he realized that this was a vessel that the Lord gave him, that it's a mission that comes with these vessels. So it's one day I want to be in your shoes. I want to be able to coach a team. I want to have my own everything like that. I want to be able to give back to the kids, like how my coaches at R9 and my coach Taylor with the kids, which now the new team name is Be Someone Elite. Were able to give back to me. I never had to pay to be on some team because the circuit teams you have to pay. So it's like the Lord blessed me everywhere I went. Every team I played for never had to pay. Everything was free. Every AAU team I played, the coaches welcomed me in free and things like that. We weren't supposed to discuss it back then with some of them, but now it's, we all older, we all love each other. It's like the Lord let me walk in the big doors like that on that circuit, playing in front of Tom Izzo. He's sitting right there. Like you only see Tom Izzo during the March Madness on TV. Play the game and he's sitting courtside. Duke coaches sitting courtside. North Carolina sitting courtside. I remember Troy and all of them in the gym being able to touch those coaches, and you know what I mean. Those are once in a lifetime opportunities that Tom Izzo flying from Michigan State, coming down there to watch a scout, and then there's your opportunity to play in front of him and maybe change his mind on why you're better. So it's just I really felt blessed in those situations. And I feel like I want to use this to give back to the Lord, like in my form of worship. I always tell the Lord, if I can't be perfect off the court, this is my form of worship on the court and things like that. So however long he allows me to have this career, I just pray for longevity. I don't pray for to be a superstar or things like that. I pray for longevity in my career, just play as long as the Lord allows me until it's time to do something else.
Yeah, that's
So
yeah. I gotcha. Like it's very good. Like you say, all the you things that you do is to the glory of God, and this is very important because when you do some things and when you get some famous when you get some fame, you forget about who is like give that fame. Like many people forget it. For many people forget that. So God give you money and you forget who is give you money. God give you fame to play basketball, to play football, or to be like an actor, like a so many profession, and you forget who is that that put in that way, like been put in this situation. You forget it because I think when you don't have or when you don't think in who give you that, I think your ego is like more important. Like I made for my own way, I work hard, uh, I only thank you God, but I do only I. It's not God do the work and I'll only receive them because it's really I think in Matthew I have that verse like in Matthew 28 in like the last verse God says like go therefore and make disciples all the nations baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son of the Holy Spirit teaching them to observe all the things that I command you and lo I am with you always even to the end of the age. Like Jesus always is with us like but he tell us like go therefore and make disciples of the all the nations. I think in many people interpreted that verse like you need to go to talk about God to people and maybe you can do, but the most important thing like is that like the people see God in your life without speak about God. Like I see you like okay, this is the man of God. The their attitudes, the all your life is like I see God in these people. Or I love that energy of that people because and you have the opportunity to talk of God. Like you say, you know, all the glory is for God. And I think God give you strong, God give us intelligence and a lot of things to be the commanded like they do to do for us. One of the important things that like in this verse, I am with you always. Jesus don't say, or God don't say, doesn't say like, I am with you in some times, or I am with you when you have a good time. I am with you all times, and this is very important because people doesn't think about when you pass some problems, when you pass some issues, when you have really good fights in your personal life, when you have a lot of when you make a lot of mistakes. God is with you and it always is with you like in your professional career when you develop to be like the person that you are now is like God always is with you in all the time. And for me I have other questions like what were one of the biggest challenge that you pass in your childhood in your teammate, like you say like that thing was help me or was help to develop and be the person that I am now.
I believe the biggest challenge was when I was at the University of Hawaii. Uh, well, I can really say the biggest challenge was my college career overall. Because it started up, went down, then went downhill, then went back up, and then kind of leveled out for a moment. So I would say that was really my biggest challenge because my freshman year of college was great. had interest and offers, from Division I schools again, D2 schools again. When it came to my second year is when I ended up getting that nerve injury in the back of both of my legs, sciatica, which shot both my legs. And then we started losing a lot of players on the team just due to the JUCO lifestyle. Great dudes not going to class, dudes is just not doing what they're supposed to do or what they're brought here to do. I'll say it that way. So I played it whole season through that injury, which that injury carried to Hawaii and caused some setbacks and things like that. And so Hawaii got really dark for me. And then some other things happened, and also the injuries. But then that summer, my body healed. And then the Lord ended up finding me a new home, which was a school that offered me before I went to Hawaii. So I ended up reaching out to them, and the coaches welcomed me with open arms as well. And then getting back to playing basketball and everything like that. And just that was where I believe things leveled out for me. I was played the whole season until the injury, so I did miss about 6, 8 games. I don't really count the 2 that I played coming from the injury because the coaches, we put me out there to see, hey, can you move? Can you stick and move? So which I really couldn't. The ankle was too painful and things like that. But I believe that was really because that's when I was at one point questioning God. Like, I was asking God, like, why? Why is my body hurting this way? Why am I not playing? Why? Like, it hurts to walk and things like that. And why at this point in my career where, the goals and aspirations of being at the highest level, getting close to playing pro is near. And I believe when I stopped asking those questions and things like that, that's when things became easier. Not, I wouldn't say easier, but that's when the Lord started to direct my path. And so that's what I believe that was what my hardest challenges was getting through college. The first 3 years of college were the hardest for me and things like that.
I think when you change the word why to el for what, many, 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 many change in your personal life because many people say why that happened for me, why like I feel so hard, why pass that lesson or that issue in my body, like not for what. When you change the why and you use for what, God, or for what did you want to, what did you want, like that I understand. I think you want to be like you want to be like I do some rest, like you want to do other things, like for what is the reason that you give me that, or what is the reason that things passed in my life. I don't, like when you understand el for what, many things in your life change, because I think uh, I in some moment in my life I say a lot why this is happening to me, what is the reason, like I don't I am not the right guy. Why? But in some moment, I listen. I was listening. I was listening. I was listening a sermon about Stephen Furnick. I don't know if you know Stephen Furnick. Yeah,
Uh,
it's
I
a
think so.
elevation worship. It's like the leadership elevation. Like the point is like, uh, he was talking about like you don't use why, use for what, because it's for what is like okay, why is like, I think that too bad in the bad way, like you say like why, my goodness, I don't like that, why, when you use it for what, you like be focused on resolve the problem and be focused on and continue with your life, because okay, for what I do this, or for what that thing is happened to me. Okay, I get it, and you advance. Like I think God wants to change that el why and for what. And for that reason, when you pass, or when you happen some moments, some difficult moments in your life, like what is your role models, like you follow, or that you see, like okay, that that moment for me is difficult, that moment for me is terrible, and I don't know what that I do with my life now. So what are your role models in your childhood, in your college, when you pass that difficult times? Who you talk to, you like, okay, you need to continue, you need to follow this, you need to follow that. Like what are your the role models in that time?
All honesty, I really turned my face to God. I open up my word. I start to pray a lot when things got dark like that. But if I could say people that I've turned to, I called, of course, my mom and my dad, my grandma. But I also did call my JUCO coach. Since I was no longer, I will always call him, Coach Dante Davis, because he was a Division I coach at one point, but he went down to the JUCO level to help, guys get to the D1 level. So I really called him a lot. I spoke to Coach Taylor, and I did every now and then. I let my family back at RO9, that old AAU team, know what was going on. But I also do have this lady, wonderful lady that I met in a church. She's a older lady. She was one of my spiritual leaders at the time, and I still talk to Miss Anna to this day. But if I wasn't talking to my mom or dad or any of my coaches, I would talk to Miss Anna, and she would do a lot of praying over me. She would always read me some verses and things like that. So those are the people that I really reached out to in times like that. I always intercede with the Lord first. I always speak to Him first, and whoever He wanted me to talk to in that moment, that's who I would talk to. So morally, the Lord, and then I'll let Him direct me into places and people to talk to have those conversations with after next steps and things like that to do. So when things really start challenging and get hard, those are who I would turn to.
Like I think it's very important to have this kind of role models because when you when you pass like that bad things or that difficult moments, if you don't have this, like maybe you follow other kind of friends, like you see other kind of things that you see the life so different. Like okay, this happened to me, but like if you don't have that, people say okay, continue with your life, no problem, God is with you, God is with you, you need to be strong, you need to continue with your work. Okay, take some rest, and then you continue with playing. You continue have the faith, and you continue be. I think the most important thing is to be strong because and I that is the one thing that I love to talk is about the mentality and about that to be strong. Like when you have when you start to play basketball, I think the principle is for fun. Okay, you play for fun, you like you have a good time with this, but when you are growing up you need to take more seriously because you maybe some players have goals, some players have dreams, like I go into the NBA, I want to play EuroLeague, I want to play in G League, I want to play NCAA. So when you have the dream or when you have the goal to be part of that people, you need to train it a lot. Your mindset and your mentality needs to be different because if you don't change your mentality, if you don't change that mindset, I think uh, it's like very difficult to go in that place. So in what moment of your teen on your teenager or your in your college you change that mentality? It's not like you playing for fun, you playing like because you want to be more great.
I actually know it was two. It happened twice when I was in high school and when I was in college. The very first time was my junior year of high school. And I love telling everybody the story. It makes my mom laugh. My mom loves the story. My grandma loves the story. Coach Taylor, I know he remembers. I know he never forgot. Because this is the day that I was no longer like, this is when my bloom happened. So I was getting a few offers of interest from, Cal Poly and Cal Poly Pomona, a lot of Cal schools and some out of state schools. This is when my interest and stuff started picking up. So no offers yet. Been to somewhere, you know how to do workouts with some schools, visit some schools, but no offers yet. But a coach was supposed to come to one of our practices. Mind you, it's COVID. So we're practicing outside in the heat. It's California desert heat. Probably like 90, 98, almost 100 degrees. But
Oh,
our team was real like this. So it's like we didn't care as long as we got to practice. But it was a cool, but coach, it was practice. So we can't practice at our regular time. We're going to practice in the morning. So it's cooler. So a Cal coach was supposed to come to practice to see me because they were getting ready to offer. They called my coach. They called me. It was like, "Hey, we're gonna come," but it was still COVID. So when the coach got stopped. The Lord didn't let him come that day. and it was a bad practice for me. I was playing. I was no, I was playing sorry. I was soft that practice for some reason, and because I think I was riding that little high horse, like I'm a cool guy. I got a coach getting ready to be here, or a coach is supposed to be here. You know what I mean? So I was being real lackadaisical that practice. Coach stopped practice. Coach Taylor stopped practice. Middle of the floor, like mid play, like he stopped. He said stop because I get the way I was playing. Walked onto the floor and cussed me out. I swear, coach cussed me out for about 30 minutes. I'm probably exaggerating,
Wow.
but he cussed me out for about who knows how long in front of everybody. In front of everybody. You got a coach coming and you're playing like this. It's soft, you soft. You need to suck it up. You know, some other words, but we're not gonna say the words.
Oh,
But
that good.
coach was right. He wasn't nothing he said was a lie. Nothing he said was a lie. And he was going in, digging in. And I'm just listening to myself like, coach is right. I am playing soft. I'm acting like a cool guy, and this I got all interest and offers, and this I'm being relaxed. And coach went in on me. After that day, I was never the same player. I never played like that ever again. And then got him better. Junior year, my sophomore year, Coach Davis. He let me go through that little freshman phase my first year. He let me learn. He let me grow. He let me act out. He let me have my moments here and there. Sophomore year, Coach Davis really sat down and talked to me. Um, After one practice, he was like, Chandler, I need you to lock in. Especially what was going on with the team and stuff like that. He's like, I need you to lock in. I need you to be a leader.
Wow.
You're not a freshman no more. I let you do what you did your freshman year because you were the youngest on the team, and I knew I had more time with you. So he was like, I need you to lock in. Like, you got Corpus Christi, Lamar, Western Carolina, some D2s, University of Hawaii, Hilo. You got all these schools want you. They're interested. They're calling. I need you to come on. It's time to grow up now. You're not a freshman or you're not in high school. You're your sophomore year. But I was battling injury, so it was a lot of mental stuff, mental health going on with that too, because my body was hurting. And but he was like, I need you to grow up now. It's time to grow up. Time to grow up. See, that's what he used to call me. He used to say, see, he's like, it's time to grow up. I remember calling me into the office. He's like, I need you to become a man. Like, I need you to ramp up. Like, you're being a little soft. You're falling back into your old ways from last year, and that's not who you are. You've grown a lot. So I don't know why it was a time where it's like just because of the injuries, it was pulling me back. So I was going through a lot, and he was like, "I need you to wake up." And ever since then, even through the injuries, I played so hard, really kind of ran my body into the ground. But I played so hard. Schools were calling, but I was still battling a lot of the mental stuff because of the injuries. So some schools were calling like, "Hey, we'll offer him, but we want a red shirt." But I wasn't still a little knucklehead. I wasn't listening. I was like, no, I don't want to sit. I want to play. Mind you, I was ignoring my body at that point. So it was like I took it. That's why Hawaii kind of turned out the way it did. It got so rough there because I was still in that I gotta prove myself mentality. Instead of I'm somewhere new, I get to learn, get to make mistakes again. So, but after that second time is where I really shifted to a different player. And then the Lord finally dealt with me himself and sat me down and was like, okay, it's time. You got to sit down. You got to stop. And I think that's really after that second little sifting, that little season with the Lord is when things changed. And then so I played this whole last season, and yeah,
Yeah.
that's when I sat down. I was like, this is serious. This is when things need to change. It's time to develop. It's time to grow. It's time to shift my mindset and things like that.
That is your first time.
Yep,
Yeah. When you get the mentality and you have other second time. But to talking to your first time, it's no, not many people like when that things happen. The coach stopped the practice and told you all that things that you don't like, but to the end is like the true about
it's the
your
truth.
is the true about you playing. Like maybe the coach is like a little bit hard talk work hard for you. Like oh my goodness, it's what happened. Like it's like in shock when you receive that words, when you receive that phrase, when you receive the messages. Okay, you don't take many don't many players take the best form. So when your coach says you don't play good or you are doing that thing so bad, you need to have mentality to take this to the best in the best way, because I think many teenagers, many young people or many childs don't take this like to the best way. I think God's when you have that kind of mentality, I think you always want to improve. You want to improve. You only want to develop. Like I am in that mood. Like some weeks ago, I started to practice jiu-jitsu, and yesterday was my first class in jiu-jitsu, and I'm do terrible. All the martial acts submit me. I'm doing 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Like I do black and submitted. But and my coach like, okay, continue. Like I am like with the hunger to okay, who's the next? I want to be submitted with some of these guys, because I am actually now I am a black a white belt, a white belt. Like it's my beginning, and I practice with some black belts. Like they know a lot. I think when you don't when you don't take or when you don't think like you can be better, or I have that mentality. I don't know it's for what, but in basketball it's the same thing. Osos de La Salle was the first team that opened the doors for me, because I am a starter to play basketball at 20 years ago, at when I was 20. And when I was 20 years, like it's a lot. Not many players in Peru started to practice some sport at 20 years. Like I was practicing track and field, I was practice running in my teen in when I was in high school. But when I go to the university, I get out of the sports and do nothing. And when I came to La Jolla again, to live in La Jolla again, to take care of my dad, because my dad was sick. To he has a COVID. He has COVID-19, so it's like a really difficult moment, and I take care of him. So when the months pass, like I wanna do some sports, because I love do some sports. I started to practice basketball because my ex girlfriend give me a ball, give me a ball to practice. So I do this. It's not that easy for me. Like I play with some really good players in Arequipa. Like my level is not like it's not the worst, but like I training, and I love that, because I training every day, from Monday to Sunday, to be better. Because the only thing that passed in my life, I want to be a professional basketball player. I want to be a professional basketball player. That's only happening in my mind. I want to play in Osos de La Salle. I want to play in Osos de La Salle. And I don't want to play in Osos de La Salle. Never. I never play professionally, but Osos de La Salle give me the opportunity to train it with that team. And for me, it's a lot. And I be grateful to God to give me that mentality to continue, because when you see some players, many of that players started to play like a a years, 9 years, 10 years. When they have 10 years, like in your childhood moment, I started in my younghood moment. So no many people do that and do like in the way that I do, because in some days I wake up 5 a.m., 6 a.m. to training in the morning, to training in the middle in the midday, to training in the afternoon, because like I was really obsessed with basketball, and for that reason, God see that, and God did tell me, okay, maybe you can, maybe you can be a professional basketball player, but I give you that basketball club to have the experience to teach a team, to coach a team. And this is a lot for me, because I learned a lot of things, and God helped me to develop not only my basketball knowledge, not like my basketball experience with myself. And God gave me all of that to lead so many teen years to be better, not only better in the court on the court, to be better in life too. And for me, this is, oh my goodness. This is one part of my story. And what was your second part to you have that mentality?
My second part was like I said, when I got to my second year of college, Coach Dante Davis, I was having a little lapse in the season and things like that, like a little slump. And I remember him calling me into the office and he was like, Chandler, it's time for you to grow up. I need you to be a leader for the team and things like that. And that I also need you not to relapse into who you were your freshman year. You're not a kid no more. Even though I'm still a teenager, I'm only 19, but you're not a kid no more. It's time for you to show me that I can trust you with being on the court and things like that. We understand that your body's hurt and things like that, but I need you to lead the team. I need you to keep fighting. I need you to stay strong minded. Don't let the setbacks keep you down and things like that. Don't let it affect your plan or anything like that. So that was my really second, and it was also me being introduced to like the politics of basketball. Coach really taught me a lot about that and showing me like how things work. You know, I mean, even the way the coach thinks, and you know that I was blessed to have that accessibility to my coach.
Okay.
So normally when you really get to that level, you don't have that accessibility. You can't really go in there and just sit in the office with your coach and chill. Like we were able to go in there and chill while he's doing his work or doing whatever, doing the reports, doing the scouts on the. He had like four chairs in office. And we go in there. If we were bored, his door was open. So that was really a mind changer for me and things like that, and really which helped me in my develop in playing basketball and furthering my career.
Oh my goodness. That's all really good. And talking about your career, can you share with me uh, some time in your life when you failed or you struggled on the court, and what lesson you took from that experience, and like you see you see that like in the other way, and you say, okay, this is good because that thing, like I'm failure, but I really develop in that.
I would say my junior year, my junior year of college when I went to the University of Hawaii, Hilo, was the what really taught me was when I wasn't able to play no more, when I wasn't playing basketball anymore. I ended up finishing the rest of the school year. I wasn't playing, so that was the longest I've ever not played basketball was a year, and it was in the midst of my career technically, since I was still a college athlete. But that really was what did it for me was when the Lord sat me down and was like, I was taking it for granted. Um, I was letting a lot of my emotion and my passion for the game turn to frustration and things like that, especially when things started going downhill, when I felt like I wasn't being treated right or being coached the way I wanted to be coached and things like that, not given the opportunity to really show what I'm capable of, but also I was still battling the injuries coming off of the last season prior. So I believe that also taught me that to take care of my body more, to allow my body to rest, which the Lord forcefully, you know, even though the Bible says he doesn't do anything by force, but I think because I was praying and asking him, you know, for help, he sat me down. He said, okay, well, first you need to sit down. You need to heal because your body, your physical body is not the way it's supposed to be. So it's not allowing your mental state to relax and things like that. It's not allowed. You can't think when you're in pain. And so that was really game changing for me and things like that. The Lord sitting me down, healing my body, taking time with my body, and things like that. And also rewiring my mind. Started going to church with my teammate. We found a little church out there. My teammates still invited me out into things like that, still communicated with me, even though I was really by myself a lot towards the end of that process. And just really sitting down and trying to hear the Lord's voice
Wow.
and things like that through all those setbacks and things like that.
Wow. Like God acts like in very particular moments or life, like, and he says a lot of things, like take a lot of challenge for us and tell us like, okay, take a rest, be payful with that. Okay, I like I have the control of this, no problem. You only take a I have the control of this because I think in many parts of our life we think like when you don't play you waste time because all of life it's the same thing for me. When I don't train, like I think like, oh my goodness, today I I didn't I didn't have a good time because I didn't train it, or I didn't do this, or I didn't podcast. But God told me, oh, okay, take it easy, control. I have the control of this. And for me, like when I invited some people on Instagram to, oh, hello, I wanted to have an interview with you. I'm really honorable, and they think like per week I send like 20 or 30 invitations, and many people don't answer my invitations, and I'm good, I feel good because God put in my mind, easy, I have the control of this. Don't be stressful with that. Don't feel like you are a failure. Don't think like you are terrible. No, you put the control of your life on my hands. I take it. I give you. You are my son. And for me, that understand this for me is like tough in some moments, because I think like I don't know, I think in your case, like it's the same thing. You want to be the control of your own life. You want to be all like, okay, I do this, I do that, I do this, I do that, and you follow that. But in some moments, God told you like, I have the control of this. I take care. I take care of that problem. I take care of that moment. The only thing that need to, the only thing that I tell you is true. Trust me. Trust on my process. Trust on my moments. Trust on my words, and be confident and be faith, because many people pass that hard moments, like in the Bible, and experience with Jesus and Peter, when Peter walked to the ocean and Jesus told, only look at me, look at me, look at me. But Peter looked the ocean, looked the waves, and oh, they go deep. And Jesus saved them and say, why you don't look at me? The only thing that I told you, look at me, look and trust me. But I think in case people trust God, but only when things are good, only when they have a good times. But when they have that tough times, they have a difficult times, when they have problems, to develop your mentality, to develop your faith. Many people feels like go deep into the ocean, into the waves, and they don't see God like, okay, I save you, but you need to look at me. You need to believe in me.
No, yeah, that one's really powerful, especially when you get those setbacks. You start to think, what am I doing wrong? What can I do to really change your situation when the Lord is in control? And that's what a lot of coaches taught me: control what you can control, which I believe the Lord spoke to me through those coaches. Control what you can control. If you give the Lord all control, that you could control what you can control what He leaves to you, because you can't be idle. You can't give to the Lord and not do anything. Faith without works is dead. But really control what you can control. Let the Lord do the rest, especially if you give your career to Him, give your education, give your job, whatever your relationship, just give. You give it to Him, it's under His control. That doesn't mean the enemy might not come sprinkle something on top to try
Uh-huh.
to derail you, but the Lord has a plan. And that's why I do pray a lot for. It's just correction and direction to make a new step in His path
Wow.
clear for me and things like that.
Correction and direction. I love that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
been including that in my prayers a lot. Been saying that a lot. And I feel like the Lord is correcting me throughout this process, especially in my rookie year, and also directing me as well. So still excited to see what more He has in store. We still got to finish out the season. We are going to get this championship. We will raise that gold trophy. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's really good. And how has basketball changed your life outside the sport, in your personal life, in your spiritual life? or even in your social life, like when the people, how basketball changed your life in that moment? Because you told me that like your parents wants to be or want to be that you are a football player in some moment,
Yeah.
especially your mom. But when you decide to go to basketball, how change your life in all that ways, like I told you.
Um, One, I can say basketball changed my life, and when it comes to a sense, it has taken me a lot of places physically. I've been to a lot of states. I've been to the majority of the big states in the U.S. and everything. I got to go to Indiana, I got to go to Oklahoma, got to go to Kansas, got to go to Atlanta. Everybody been to Vegas for the big Vegas tournaments. I've also lived in different places. I got to live in Hawaii. I got to visit Canada for the first time ever, leaving the border as an adult. When we were little, my mom took us to Mexico and things like that. Now I live in Peru, which is the dream was always play overseas in the NBA, but who knew it would bring me to Peru? Things like that, the real culture of the city is. Never thought of it. I always, of course, one way minded players. Like I want to go to Europe, I want to play in the Euro League. But I started praying like any team that is just looking for a player my skin can. And I'm in Peru, which is real cool, near Machu Picchu, all the volcanoes and everything like that. So it changed my life in traveling. I've got to travel a lot for free. And I'm really grateful for the Lord. Like I got stories to tell that I've lived in different countries because of basketball. It's also brought me around a lot of people with the same mindset as me. My friend Leek, he plays in Germany as of right now. Some of my friends I grew up with just signed their first rookie contracts and things like that as well. So again, and I've also got to play with NBA players. This past summer is where a lot of things really changed for me, like David Roddy for the Toronto Raptors. Like I got to play with a lot of former NBA players that I'm really
Wow.
close with now. So being around that, basketball is too. I've met a lot of trainers. Coach Morris, who trains me currently right now, former NBA player, played for the Orlando Magic and the Houston Rockets. Met family friends that played in the NBA, the Wilkes brothers, who played for the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. So it really connected me to a lot of people in the field that I desire to be in, that the Lord knows that I desire to be in. And now that I have those connections, also missed Coach Marcus Carroll and things like that, who played in the NBA and no NBA connection. So it's just being surrounded by a lot of pros and things now. Now that my friends are pros, and some friends are Division I players right now still, but being surrounded by everything that I aspire to be and get to communicate with those people, call those people if needed, ask for advice, train with those people. Even sometimes during the summer, get to put on the same uniform, we're on the same team as those people. So it changed my life that way. And also with my relationship with God, the Lord has really taught me a lot of things through basketball, commitment and things like that, understanding, knowing that when, like I like to give people a lot of basketball analogies, like if you're having a bad quarter, don't mean you'll have a bad second half with things like that. Especially with your relation with God, is up and down like a basketball game. There's stops, there's points when there's a dead ball, a dead possession. So you might get hurt, which also means you have spiritual hurt, emotional hurt, and things like that, not just physical. You have to learn how to take instruction and construction. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? When it comes to reading the word, that's your instruction. That's you seeking instruction, seeking to hear the Lord's voice, things like that. And that's how it is with your coaches and things like that, which my mom harps on me like, Chandler, be quiet. The coach understands. Some coaches understand, some coaches don't. But just be ready to take instruction. Yes, sir, no, sir. My mom is always on. And like my dad, like the Lord, sometimes when the Lord gives you instruction on the court, like my dad always tells me to stay on the ground, put my hands up, things like
Yeah.
that. When the Lord gives you a task, just try it out. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean it might work all the time. You might need to try something different. My grandma always just teaching me through basketball, patience to patience. The Lord got you. He has it under control. Just keep having fun, keep doing what you're doing, things like that. And I feel like that the Lord used basketball to really change a lot of those aspects in my life. And if it didn't work, I wouldn't be here in Peru. I wouldn't be on a contract with a team that's really trusting me to go out there and do what I'm supposed to do if the Lord didn't build me up to who I am supposed to be right now in this moment, in this season of my life. So that really changed a lot of things for me. So I'm really grateful. But what I'm really grateful for is the traveling aspect. Living in
Yeah.
Peru is real cool. Getting to see everything is a whole different culture shock and things like that. The way people do things around here, especially when it comes to breakfast time. I noticed that you can't we don't start eating breakfast till 11 a.m., 12. And I'm over here up at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning just searching for some eggs and bacon. But
Yeah.
I really like it. I really love it. So I'm really grateful for the Lord that He gave me the opportunity to do these type of things and things like that. So like I said, that's what really changed for me in my life. And it's
I'm
continued to change. So
yeah. I'm really honored to hear that because you told that the Lord give you all that you want, give you all the things that you have in your life, all give you all the troubles, give you all the things because it's the true. Is really a true because God put in some place to bless it, and God give you that opportunities to, and I think is you we receive all for grace. Okay, it's all for grace, and I think it's really good. Like you told me, and you talk it, and you you talk it to me about this because that is true. Because if you didn't take the decision to play basketball, maybe you can travel the place that you travel. Maybe you can know that people that you know that meet the people that you meet. You don't have the opportunity to come to Peru to practice to play professional basketball. Like I think many people like in your mind have some goals like I want to play in that place, I want to do that place, but God says, okay, this is your plan. Okay, that's good. I respect your plan, but I have other plans for you. And I think God puts you in that place, puts you in Peru to improve, to develop and learn about it's only for grace because God like he do that things for grace and he grace is like a grace is like a gift that God give us. So I feel really honored to hear that. To talk about your lifestyle and your what are your daily habits, your routine? So do you follow that things? How help it you most in your career? What are your daily habits, your routines, your training sessions?
So really my daily habits, it's scheduled. It's consistent, but every day might be a little different. So like yesterday was lower body and power, so working on plyometrics, explosive, also with strength in between. So my daily, I'll get up in the morning, early morning, 6 a.m. I read my word. Um, I read my word with somebody else as well, things like that. Read my word at 6 a.m. before my feet touch the ground, before I consume any type of social media, before I play any games, even before I touch a basketball, just to hear the Lord's voice. And then after that, lay back down, go back to sleep for the little 2 hours that I have, and then get up around between 9 and 11. I'm trying, searching, making breakfast, going out to get breakfast, things like that to fuel my body. Taking some calories I need to take in for the morning as I'm trying to gain more weight, get a little more muscle, keep the lean physique, but a little more muscle, a little more stronger. Then around 12, we go to the weight room. We're in the weight room. Now that I'm not in college, I don't got to go to the weight room at 5 o'clock in the morning no more. So, but we in the weight room at 12, from 12 to 1:30 to lunchtime. Then Miss Jessica, our team cook, um, she whips up our food and everything like that. So she probably has to come call our names about 3 times because I'm kind of in that flow state after I lift weights. I like to get a shot before I eat because once I eat, I want to go home, get off my feet to practice time. And so, I lift weights. Then we get up shot, get up some shots. I do a lot of freelance stuff. The only thing that's really like structured and oriented is my free throw shoot. I want that to be really consistent. Adjusted to the rims and stuff around here. So, I'm trying to get it still trying to get a little adjusted. We're still early in the season and things like that, but getting adjusted to the rims. And then I'll do some freelances where I get to like my little spots from the mid range, work on those, some jabs or whatever. And then some freelance dribbling, just getting comfortable with the balls. The overseas balls are a lot different from back home. They're a lot more sleek. So like you have to really be able to handle the ball or the ball will be going in the other direction. And then after that, lunch. Whether we eat it there or she gives it in our little to-go containers to take home. Eat lunch, have a little snack, maybe a little 30, 45 minutes later. Might play the game a little bit. Play the game, watch some anime. I love anime, big anime fanatic. Watch some anime, might take a nap or some. Not, I'm sitting up on the phone. Um, and then practice time. So then I get to practice maybe like 30 minutes early. Really, probably an hour early because then it's dinner time. Our team cook makes our dinner. So I'll take my little Tupperware if I want to eat it after practice, or I'll eat it before practice because I'll probably plan on getting some after practice anyway. Then go to practice, get there. I love to hop on the bike before practice for about 15 minutes, get my legs hot. And I kind of do it like the 10, 15 minutes before practice starts. So it's like I'm going straight in with hot legs. And then we practice, get up and down. Lately, we've been doing a lot of agility and conditioning and shooting drills, shooting while you're tired. So just keeping our bodies real. That's my little habit for that. And at night, I go get something to eat. It's a nice little Pollo de Brasa chicken place that makes some good burgers and fries right there by the gym. I go get that to put back the calories that I burned during practice. Have me a little snack once I get home, hop in the shower, freshen up. And then might play the game a little bit more until I'm tired and up off the phone and then repeat. And then maybe the next day might be same morning schedule, always breakfast between 9 and 11. But then I might lift weights earlier so I get up more shots, or today might be a full recovery, mobility, stability, just do stuff like that and then get some shots, some ball handling, some freelance type of stuff, eat, go home, chill, things like that. So every day it's a structured system. It's just I might change up the time so it's not like I'm robotic, have more freedom in it. And like, my days like this might come around where Mr. Willie, our team president, team owner, coach in my head is, hey, we need y'all to go to the gym, some with some kids, or we might need y'all to help out, or I might have, give y'all a little something to go do something for you guys' apartments or whatever. Or like today we have to do a little team series. So days are real different. So today's really a media type of day going on. I'm definitely gonna lift weights after all of it is over, get some shots up, can't wait to have lunch, things like that. But those are my daily habits. I always make sure to read my word early morning. And if I, every now and then might pop open the Psalms or something, just to hear the Lord's voice, a reminder, a refresher, play the game, kind of decompress, leave the basketball on every now and then. Maybe watch some basketball highlights. I don't know, to hype myself up. I don't go out there and dunk like Westbrook at practice. More likely, I might not dunk like that. I might get like 2, 3 dunks and call it a day. But a lot of things like that. Communicate. Love talking to my teammates. My teammate Owen. We love playing Clash Royale. So that's one of our little habits every now and then. Talk about Clash and things like that. And just chill with the guys. We go to each other's apartments. Some Mike and them might come over here. We might go down there. Move around the city. I like to get up and just walk around the city. Go down to the city center. Yes, I'll take that nice 35-minute to an hour walk. Just to see it, look at the volcanoes in the distance and everything like that. Look at the overlook. I love how you can see the city from where you're standing at.
Yeah.
I love how you can see I love it. It's amazing. I have so many pictures in my phone. But just enjoy the city, get out, enjoy the sun, not sit down too long, not be so ideal, things like that. So those are my little daily habits. That's what I really get into from day to day since we've been here.
You enjoy that creation of God, the volcanoes, the city,
Yeah. Go ahead.
no, because Arequipa it's a very beautiful city. I love Arequipa.
Yeah, I love the bridge going towards the city. I love the water that goes under the bridge. That's my favorite thing. The other day, I actually saw somebody jumping in the lake, the little river and stuff. So that was cool. I really like it. I really liked it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Looking ahead, what do you hope your legacy will be as a basketball player and as a person?
Hmm. Really is. I'm really a very laid back and chill person. So I'm not looking for no great glitz and glamour, but I want to be able to tell kids like that is. I want to be able to tell the athletes, especially in my situation that's been through things like me, they're like, just keep hooping, keep hooping. Keep your eyes on the Lord and keep hooping. The Lord will get you through it. Like I really want to use basketball to, like you start the little teams, have the academies and things like that. Also, the mental aspect, the mental health portion. I was a psychology major in college. So really that mental health and getting people to understand and getting athletes to understand and how to cope with it, all through like a ministry as well and things like that. Just to be able to just, well, how can I say it? Just spread the gospel through basketball and also help kids understand that this is not easy. Not everybody will be a pro. Not everybody will be a pro. You might help people become pros. You might get to be around the pros and counsel to the pros. You know, the Lord might take you somewhere where you're in the field. You may not be playing in it, but you're in the offices. He needs some people in the offices. You know what I mean? He needs some people to run these camps. He needs people. So I just want to be able to give back, like how the coaches did me. I want to be able to have teams where you don't have to pay to be on this circuit team. I want to ask the Lord to use my money to fund these programs so these kids can wear the EYBL and now Puma and New Balance and the Under Armour. You can wear these. You get to play in front of whoever the next big Division I coach is. You might get to play in front of Calipari. You might get to play in front of Izzo. You know what I mean? Them if they're still coaching like how I was able to. You know what I mean? Give back to them. So the kids that are late bloomers like me bloom, things like that. And then also just leave stuff to my children. Like the Bible says, you're supposed to leave an inheritance to your kids. So it's just, but all the Bible says you can leave it to a wise man or a fool. So obviously train my kids up in the way they should go. So they're wise. But just to have fun with it. Let let the Lord bounce this ball as long as it's supposed to bounce. And even just because it bounces, they say the ball stops bouncing one day, but did you know when the ball stops bouncing, it rolls for a little bit before it stops. So my career right now is the ball bouncing. I wanted to be able to roll down the court a little bit once it stops bouncing. You know, and then maybe somebody else's hands and things like that. Whoever the Lord places in front of me, that my faith and obedience is a blessing to somebody else. Things like that. So those are really my goals for after.
I really love that because you need to you need to be better to help other people. Like all your career, you talk about God, and this is good because God tell us to help other people, to help the child, to help the younger people to be succeed in life like we do. I mean, I read that's really interesting that you find your community and you help your community. You be part of this community. Like it's like a good way, like you do. And do you, what advice will you give to young players going through something similar? What advice to give to practice basketball, to still playing on that? Um, what advice will you to say that people?
The advice I give to other people is take your time. Don't rush it. Because you're gonna get to a point in your career where you have no choice but to make a like basketball. That's how basketball is, that's how sports is, that's how the industry is. You have time and then there's days where you won't have time. So you gotta be able to think clearly but quickly. So enjoy the developmental process. Because I'm still developing a lot myself and I'm a pro. There's a lot of things that I'm doing now that I wasn't doing 2 years ago, last year, or even last summer. And there's things I'm doing now that I wasn't doing this summer. That a coach pulled me to the side here, one of Oso's coaches, and taught me something. And I used it last night and it worked. Now in my head, I was like, this is a little weird because, you know, if I move this slow, but he taught me to change the speed and change direction. Now, Coach Morris has been working on that, but in the post, how you can really get somebody, you know what I mean? So take your time, really develop, really enjoy it while you can enjoy it because it will become a business. I learned that it become a real business fast. That's why I say take your time with it now while everything is still moving at a pace that's slow because eventually it will happen fast. And just keep your eyes upward, keep your eyes on the Lord, and you'll be fine. You'll be fine. A lot of kids that follow me on Instagram, like high school kids, ask me like, how do you jump so high? Like you feel me? Just take your time. Take your time. Learn the technique. Learn it. Because once you become a pro, you learn a whole lot of new things.
Yeah.
Things that you learned in high school and college won't. Some stuff might not translate to the pros. So just take your time, enjoy the process. You know, of course, it echoes a lot of players. But like when I say enjoy the process with the Lord. Enjoy it with Him. Because if He gives you this basketball, He wants you to do something with this basketball. It's going to take you somewhere. It's going to teach you something. So just enjoy it. Like just literally have fun. I'm starting to have fun with it again. Because at one point it wasn't fun for me.
Oh
I
yeah.
was only thinking for strictly a business point of view. But it's fun now. Like it's fun. Messing up is fun. So it's just mess up, make mistakes. Because that's how you know. Kobe said, when you're not doing it right if you're not making a mistake. If you're not messing up, if you didn't kick the ball across the court, you're not doing it right. You're not going hard. You know, so that's what I would tell a lot of people.
Oh, that's good. I love that because take your time. Don't be fast. because I think when you need to walk to run. Many people don't understand that first you need to walk, and then you be more fast with the time and be more fast and be more fast be more faster, and that is really clearly but quickly. It's other like you say. It's very interesting. Like you need to be patient, and the most important thing for you and for me is trust in the God's plan. God have the beautiful plans for you, and you only need to take him and trust him, because God don't make mistakes. We make mistakes. God doesn't. So I love that you come here to my podcast, and it's my honor to talk to you in my English podcast. Like I do that podcast in Spanish, so I feel so honored to do that podcast for me. I hope you see on the court. I want to go Arequipa to see Osos de La Salle, because I didn't go now. I didn't go to see any basketball practice. I train it in sometimes in some moment because I have my basketball club, so I dedicate a big time of my afternoons and night at nights in my basketball club. So, but I want to dedicate some time to visit Osos de La Salle to see us play. So thank you Chandler for doing my podcast. I'm really honored to do. God bless you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for bringing me on here. When you reached out to me, I was like, I can't pass up this opportunity. Can't. I have to. I feel like this is a stepping stone also in my career, and also being able to talk basketball, talk life, talk things. I was like, I'm really grateful for you reaching out to me. So you could have reached out to any other player, you know what I mean? But you reached out to me, so I'm really grateful for that. I thank the Lord for that, and I thank you for that as well.
Oh yeah, all the glory to God. Thank you.
Yes, sir.